We set off to build the expedition vehicle of my dreams from the ground up with a $30,000 budget. We documented every aspect of the build from the design process to all the hardships along the way. To be honest, this was one of the most challenging projects of my entire life, but the final product exceeded my wildest dreams. Watch as we build an incredible vehicle for Season 3 of the Tiny Home Adventure series. This is the Muse Roamer project. On the last episode of the Tiny Home Adventure, the interior layout started to take shape. Our ceiling fans and AC went in. We finished putting the box together. We cut out the hole for the pass-through and finally mounted the camper to the truck. Alright, so we've got the pass-through. We're trying to water seal everything, so I'm gonna try and apply the accordion boot, which will act as the gasket between the two. Since the frame is gonna articulate different than the body of the truck, we need to make sure that when it all flexes, it has enough room to move and not rip the seal out. So that's what we'll work on now. Hopefully it comes together the way I had envisioned and not the way that everybody told me not to do it. So we'll see. The pass-through was a critical feature for me on this project. My inner counsel, Ashley, Mark, and Josh all advised me that I should not do it as it could lead to some major issues down the road and may end up being more complicated than we expect. With how much more challenging almost every aspect of this build has been than expected, I thought maybe they were right, but I wasn't willing to compromise now. So what we did is fabricate two identical pieces of aluminum with the pass-through cutout so that we could attach our rubber accordion boot to the lip of each piece. This took a little finesse, but the whole thing came together easier than expected, which was a first for this project. Alright, so we finally made it to Red Point Woodworks. This is Rance, he runs the joint. We have some beautiful wood back here. We're super excited to have him help us make these countertops. Tell us about what you do, man.
So mostly what I do is I'm known mostly for live edge furniture. I do all kinds of furniture, everything from selling slabs to cutting down trees to processing and then finish off in beautiful, beautiful furniture. So that's mostly what I'm known for. Man, some of the stuff you have in here is so pretty. I cannot wait to see what we come up with on these countertops. So excited. I love this stuff.
It's gonna be awesome, man.
It's so gorgeous.
It's sweet. Let's do it.
Thanks,
awesome.
Man.
I have always been fascinated with raw slab countertops and fine woodworking. Although I'm very aware of the unnecessary added weight, the aesthetic was well worth it for me. We started off by laying down a countertop template we had made at the shop on a giant piece of sycamore. We ended up using this one piece of wood for both our dinette and the kitchen countertops. Then I spent several hours planing it to our desired thickness. Once planed, we cut out both the kitchen and dinette pieces to size. Rance was cool enough to guide me through the process. I also learned that this wood grain phenomenon is called medullary raise. Then we sealed the cracks with a special glue. We left the slabs with Rance from Red Point Woodworks to be finished and stained, and then we headed back to the shop. So our wall thickness is thicker than what the faceplate for these windows will accommodate, so we have to get kind of creative and create these frames so we don't see a bunch of weird stuff on the backside of the window. So we've created this sort of like keystone design. It's a little interesting, but I think at the end of the day it'll be the best finish that we can possibly create. So let's do it. My approach was to create a custom trim to accommodate the 3-inch wall thickness. We glued and pinned the custom trim into place and then bondoed and sanded flush. Our pre-paint finish looked like this. After a bunch of rounds of Bondo, because I suck at Bondo, even though I've been doing it for freaking hundreds of hours at least on this project, it feels like. We got it pretty dang close. We still need to install the windows, and we're like gonna have to backfill those holes once everything's fully installed, but we're gonna get our first coat of primer down on top of all this stuff right now, and it should look a lot better once that happens. I'm real excited about it. Woo! So for our solar panels, we partnered with AM Solar. These guys are awesome. We told them exactly what our needs are. We had a couple different options, and we ended up going with the 175 watt ZAMP panels, and they were able to set us up with absolutely everything we needed, from cables to mounting brackets to waterproof boxes. I mean, we really didn't have to think much about it. We just told him what we needed. He sent us everything, really clear, concise directions, and should go together pretty quickly. So this kit's awesome. Everything just kind of attaches to the roof. I'm gonna mount each panel individually and then run the solar cable to a junction box, and then we have everything run through down into the cab where it needs to go. So just kind of cleaning up the footholes. Don't step in the hole, let's step over the hole. Here, step in.
It goes here.
Yep. Sweet, good job. For this phase of the solar, all we had to do was attach the panels to the roof and wire the panels to a junction box. Alright, so we got all the solar wrapped up. Came with this super slick little box here. Super easy to wire, waterproof. Honestly, the whole setup took us probably an hour and a half to install, wire, all 3 panels, at least on the outside. We have a few more things to do on the inside, but surprisingly easy. I'm psyched. This is great. I'd highly recommend AM Solar. This isn't an ad. They did give us the panels, but the kit that they sent us and their customer service, it was all so easy, so streamlined. Yeah, I would recommend this to anybody who wants to put solar on their house or on their RV, because they give you everything. The directions were so clear, and yeah, just all around nice people. So thanks, AM Solar, you guys rock. Woo! So right now, while we're trying to get the rig finished, instead of driving, it's about 50 minutes to and from Park City. We've just been sleeping in the rig, just on sleeping pads and sleeping bags, and that way we can get, you know, an extra 2 hours out of the day. Not super comfortable, but something you gotta do, or that we're doing, to try and get this thing done as quickly as possible. Way behind schedule. I know Ashley would much prefer to be in a nice comfy bed, but yeah, just kind of doing what it takes to get it done.
The next morning.
Are you okay?
No.
Let me see.
No.
Babe, your eye looks fine.
It does not look fine.
It's fine.
I can't see out of it all the way.
So everybody can see.
I'm gonna punch you in the face so you have an eye that looks similar. I don't need screens on the windows. Mosquitoes, don't get me. That's Andrew.
So we were sleeping last night. I think this is some of our best content, by the way. We were sleeping last night and Ashley got bit in the eyeball. I think the actual eyeball by a mosquito. And she woke up, felt her eye, and started crying. So I just left and gave her some time. I'm glad that this is going as well as it is, because I was in a lot of trouble like a half hour ago.
You're still in a lot of trouble. Last night,
I
when
can't take you serious.
When the mosquito bit me, you were like, "You're so dramatic." Dramatic? My eye fucking doesn't open.
Babe, this is for children.
Good, let him see what this is like. I'm upset. Don't look at it.
Anyways, her eye was pretty swollen and she was upset. I'm in trouble.
I'm still upset, and you're still in trouble.
All right, so today is a super exciting day. Although not might look it, it's rainy, it's gross. We worked last night well into the rain, but we're taking the beef on her maiden voyage. We're heading to Vorshire. We're gonna get our underbelly boxes built, our back boxes, our spare tire mount, roof rack, ladder, and a couple other things. So we're driving about an hour south, and I'm a little scared, but that should be all right. I think the beast will be good. Super psyched. So we made it to Vorshire. That drive was kind of terrifying. Josh was following me. Apparently, my odometer said I was going 55, but I was actually going 70. I was trying to go slow, but with the bigger wheels, I didn't make the calculation in my mind. But anyways, we're at Vorshare. They're gonna help us with a bunch of boxes, and they do some super rad stuff. We're gonna check out their shop here. We got Josh, we got Davin. We're having them build us some boxes. As you can see, these are like crazy nice. Like that's so slick. But their specialty is these kind of off-road style camper trailers, and like kind of makes me bummed I just spent all this time building a monster truck where I could have just had something like this. These are like super cool.
That truck's pretty cool though too. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. We'll have to get them both out together one of these days and do like a put them both to the test. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Devin spent a bunch of time creating this awesome 3D model of the rig itself, the boxes. We're just gonna go through and kind of troubleshoot just a handful of things to make sure we're all aligned and on the same page. So today we're working on doing the edge banding on our drawer and cabinet faces. So we're using birch plywood, which you can see has this end grain which won't disappear with paint. So what we have to do is add edge banding to it, which is this stuff. Glue it on, get it all perfect, sand it down, and then when we paint it, it'll look all beautiful. So Ashley and I are gonna teamwork that today. So priming went really quick. Now we have to sand everything down and then flip these over, get another coat of primer on, and then we're gonna paint everything else up. Yep. So we've been cranking today. It's already almost 8 o'clock, but I'm gonna try and get at least 20 of these benches pretty much in. I still need to go to Home Depot, grab some more wood, but yeah, I'm excited. Building these damn benches has been so much harder than I thought. I kind of started at the wrong side. Everything ended up being off. I had to pull what I had done out, trash the piece, cut a new piece, got all this nice and edge banded. Basically, we need the face frame and everything to line up flush here, so it's kind of a clean seam. So I've decided I started my whole right angle from here, and then I'm just kind of working around. So that's the important part. If I have to, you know, silicone or trim or shim some of this stuff on the inside, and there's gonna be cushions here, and you know, nothing's perfectly right angled. The refrigerator is a little off from square, so just kind of improvising, but I think I've got a good system figured out. I mean, this whole project has been so much trial and error. Start somewhere, realize I did it wrong, pull it apart, do it again, do it right. But I'm really liking how it's coming together, knock on wood, because who knows, I could throw a temper tantrum and light the whole thing on fire. I'm at that point in this build, so come together, gonna keep pushing.
Before I could start building the other bench, I needed to finalize the faceboard for the pass-through, which would also act as an electrical chase.
Got the face frame installed, now we need to get this bench in and then hopefully start on the floor. It's optimistic, but hey, I found this corner clamp. What a game changer. So much easier. Yeah, before I was wrestling with all this crazy stuff, this is like already done. Feels great. So finally, we got the benches built, our dinette area. I'm gonna explain how this all kind of lays out. So this bench is gonna have our furnace in it and also have some additional storage. The furnace doesn't take up this whole space. Because of the elevation of these tables, we wanted to bring everything up by 6 inches so that when we were sitting, we could enjoy our nice window. So for our feet to touch, we had to bring the floor up by 6 inches. And we're gonna have a pretty heavy table right here. So we needed to make this really strong. but we turned that into this additional drawer space. We left, the reason why it's these weird 2 boxes is one, since it's more functional as far as storing things efficiently, not just a junk drawer. And secondly, so we have this structural member for the leg of the table to rest on, so there won't be any bowing in here. And then this box gets kind of crazy. There'll be a panel here that will be covered by the cushion. It will also lift up and disassemble like this, so we have access to our entire electrical compartment. We're gonna have all of our batteries, our inverter, our converter, fuse panel, bus panel, just kind of the brains of the operation should live in here. We're also gonna have a nice vent and maybe a little circulating fan to keep this space cool and limit everything. So we're really trying to utilize every square inch of this project, of this vehicle. So all of our electrical kind of runs through up here and back down through here. This is gonna be my edit bay, stove, water heater, sink, storage, more storage, bathroom, shower, toilet, and our beautiful refrigerator, which is installed. Feels great. So that's where we're at.
On the next episode of the Muse Roamer project, we install our floor, pick up our raw slab countertops, finish the pass-through panel, start moving out of our current apartment.
Don't let him fool you, he has the most stuff. Like, his side of the closet until recently was pushing up into my side. He has so many clothes, and they're mostly just like GoPro t-shirts or...
Install our countertops, the truck gets painted and wrapped, and more. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep up with our most recent adventures, make sure to follow us on Instagram. Massive thank you to the friends and brands who made this dream possible. If you have any questions, we would love to answer them. If you found this at all entertaining or informative, we would love it if you could please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.